Hi and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be learning about methods in Java. Okay, what is method, why methods are required, and how it is used. Okay, so methods in simpler words is a basic block of code or instruction through which either we manipulate some data and get some result out of it, or we define some behavior and perform some set of actions. Okay, now what is syntax for writing a method in Java? First one, to write a method, we have to define the access modifier. What is access modifier? We had just discussed in the last video. If you don't know, you can have a look at the last video where we had discussed the access modifier. So basically, it's a public, private, okay, public, private, protected, and default keywords which define the scope of the accessibility, okay, of method. So what is return type? Return type is a type, it's a data type basically. Okay, means what type of, if a method takes returns some value, okay, either integer, float, or string, you have to mention the data type. Okay, the type of data that is returning is that is returned by the method. Okay, then the method name. Okay, then the parameter list. Parameter list is a list of uh, variables, okay, which the methods consumes and manipulate or perform some operation on top of that, taking that data. Okay, parameters is a list of variable which gets considered while the method body or method code is getting processed. So example, public, you can see public is the access modifier, return type is say integer int, and method name is method one I had given, and it is taking a parameter called int I. Okay, here I am writing something, I'm performing some actions. Okay, or this, if the method doesn't have any parameter to be considered to take it, then it is not taking any parameter. So this is method without parameter, this is method with parameter. This parameterized method, this is called parameterized method, this is non-parameterized method. Okay, now let's move on. So what we'll do some coding to understand more about methods. Okay, now what is parameter? I mentioned it, parameters are basically we're passing the data, okay, through which it can we can consume the data in the method body, and we can process and manipulate the same to perform some set of actions. Okay, and what is return type? Return type means the type of data which is being returned by method. That's all. Okay, let's do some coding to understand it more betterly way. Okay, let's see how we can do that. Okay, this was the previous example. Let's create another package. Okay, com dot dummy method example. Okay, now let's close all. Okay, let's create another class, a class basically. Okay, class method example. Okay, in this class we will write a method public int method one. Okay, let's say I'm taking an argument parameter here. Okay, int j. If I give some return type int, I have to return some integer value. Okay, let's say return, so here let's say I'm writing j equal to j plus 1. So I'm basically increasing the value of whatever j is to 1 and returning the value. So how to return a value? So we have to write a keyword called return, and then whatever we are trying to return we can write that. Okay, now let's see how we can call this method. String, so we're writing a main method basically. Here's a typo. Okay, so now to call a method, non-static method, this is not static method, right? This is non-static method. We have to create an object for this class, right? So from a static method, right? Example method. So method example mx, let's say new method example. I'm creating like what it is happening, what is showing. Okay, Eclipse is giving some error reporting. Okay, let's ignore that. Mx dot method one. Okay, now this is the parameter, right? Here you can ask, this is the parameter, but it doesn't have any value. This is a logical name, right? But what value I need to pass? So basically you can pass whatever you want to have the action to be performed on. Let's say I'm passing a value called 10, which is getting consumed here. So how it works, basically this, when I am calling this is called method, this is called as method call. Okay, calling a method. Okay, this is writing a method body. Okay, so basically this, when I'm calling this is basically calling this method. Okay, and I'm passing a integer because I had mentioned it, this method named as method 1 can take a integer parameter, so I'm passing 10. So if I pass 10, what output it should give? It is just giving j equal to j plus 1, means 10 plus 1, it should return 10, 11, right? It is returning 11. So I have, so this statement should give me 11, right? So let's try to catch that or store that in a variable. So I had created an integer variable, okay, which is calling method 1, and method 1 is returning a value called 11 and getting stored into k. Now I will try to print out method k, the value of k. So that means, so I'm just formatting the code. Okay, let's say, let's run it. Let's run it. Let's see if it gives 11 or not as the output. Let's see here. Okay, it is running. Okay, 11, because I'm calling as 10 with the parameter value I'm giving as 10. So it is returning me 11. 11 getting stored in k, and I'm getting k. Okay, this is how I write method. So let's say if I don't write a parameterized method, okay, method 2, simple method without parameter. So let's say I want to print out something. Okay, I want to print out simply, okay, this is method to example. Okay, and but it is expecting a, I'm trying to return a variable int, value int. Okay, int value. But if I don't want to return any value, I can to mention as void. So no return statement is required, because void means it is returning void, nothing. Okay, so if I call this, okay, if I call this method, let's see what will happen. So let's again call this method. So we had created already an object, right? Mx dot method 2. Okay, let's see what the output it comes. Let's see. Okay, 11 was the previous, from the previous, this one is from this. So remember this, if I don't need to return anything, mention the return type as void. If I need to return something, integer, character, or whatever, we have to mention the return type, and we have to return the same type of variable. Okay, yeah, so that's all from this section of tutorial. If you do like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you do have any questions, concerns, comments, suggestions, inputs, please put them in the comment box. I'll be happy to help. Thank you and have a nice day.